The only thing we have to fear is fear itself. The only thing worth trying is what we have never attempted before. Happiness lies in the joy of achievement and the thrill of creative effort. A smooth sea never made a skilled sailor. We cannot always build the future for our youth, but we can build our youth for the future. When you come to the end of your rope, tie a knot and hang on. To reach a port, we must sail, not tie at anchor, sail, not drift. The truth is found when men are free to pursue it. Remember, you are just an extra in everyone else's play. A reactionary is a somnambulist walking backward. The only thing that makes life worth living is love, service, and work. Rules are not necessarily sacred, principles are. The school is the last expenditure upon which America should be willing to economize. The only thing that we have is the courage and will to move forward together. If civilization is to survive, we must cultivate the science of human relationships, the ability of all peoples, of all kinds, to live together and work together in the same world at peace. Courage is not the absence of fear, but rather the assessment that something else is more important than fear. Take a method and try it. If it fails, admit it frankly and try another. But above all, try something. It isn't sufficient just to want. You've got to ask yourself what you are going to do to get the things you want. The only thing we can count on is change. The only thing that never changes is the fact that everything changes. Democracy cannot succeed unless those who express their choice are prepared to choose wisely. The only sure bulwark of continuing liberty is a government strong enough to protect the interests of the people and a people strong enough and well enough informed to maintain its sovereign control over the government. There are many ways of going forward, but only one way of standing still. We are not attacking the problems of the world from the bottom up. The country needs unless I mistake its temper, the country demands bold, persistent experimentation. This is preeminently the time to speak the truth, the whole truth, frankly and boldly. Men are not prisoners of fate, but only prisoners of their own minds. The virtues of our system of government and economy are demonstrated through free men achieving greater economic security through cooperative effort. A radical is a man with both feet firmly planted in the air. The only thing that is certain is that nothing is certain. Confidence thrives on honesty, on honor, on the sacredness of obligations, on faithful protection, and on unselfish performance. This nation asks for action, and action now. There must be a strict supervision of all banking and credits and investments. There must be an end to speculation with other people's money. The measure of the restoration lies in the extent to which we apply social values more noble than mere monetary profit. I ask you to judge me by the enemies I have made. It is common sense to take a method and try it. If it fails, admit it frankly and try another. But above all, try something. The test of our progress is not whether we add more to the abundance of those who have much, it is whether we provide enough for those who have too little. The only thing that is constant in our history is change itself. A war of ideas can no more be won without books than a naval war can be won without ships. Repetition does not transform a lie into a truth. The nation that destroys its soil destroys itself. The truth is found when men are free to pursue it. Taxes shall be levied according to ability to pay. If you treat people right, they will treat you right, 90% of the time. The virtues of democracy are demonstrated through the protection of liberty. Self-interest is the enemy of all true affection. We must be the great arsenal of democracy. People who are hungry and out of a job are the stuff of which dictatorship are made. We look forward to a world founded upon 4 essential human freedoms. The only thing that really matters is that we try to build a world where every man has the right to be free. To some generations much is given. Of other generations much is expected. This generation of Americans has a rendezvous with destiny. The only thing that will save democracy is more democracy. Freedom of speech, freedom of worship, freedom from want, and freedom from fear, these are the essential liberties of mankind. There is a mysterious cycle in human events. To some generations much is given. Of other generations much is expected. But in our land we have always insisted that the first duty of every citizen is to prepare to be a useful member of society. If we lose freedom here, there is no place to escape to. This is the last stand on earth. There are as many opinions as there are experts. There is nothing I love as much as a good fight. The virtues of democracy are sustained through education and informed participation. We do not see faith, hope, and charity as unattainable ideals, but as essential elements of our free society. We must move forward, not backward. We have nothing to fear but fear itself, nameless, unreasoning, unjustified terror which paralyzes needed efforts to convert retreat into advance. Peace can endure only so long as humanity really insists upon it. The virtues of our nation are the courage and unity of its people. The saving grace of democracy is that we never stop trying to do better. The future lies with those wise political leaders who realize that the great public is interested more in government than in politics. If civilization is to survive, we must cultivate the science of human relationships. The liberty of a democracy is not safe if the people tolerate the growth of private power to a point where it becomes stronger than the democratic state itself. We must be the great arsenal of democracy. We are determined to do our part in preventing the disaster of world war. The most successful leader is the one who acknowledges the contributions of those who came before him. Leadership calls for bold, persistent experimentation. I am neither bitter nor cynical, but I do wish there was less immaturity in political thinking. We must scrupulously guard the civil rights of all citizens. It is time for us to take action and to do what must be done. The measure of our progress is not how we add to the wealth of those who have much, but how we provide for those who have too little. We must build a world in which all men and women can live in peace, free from want and fear. The only thing we can count on is change. The only thing that never changes is the fact that everything changes.